Hope y'all are doing well. If you haven't noticed, got a new playmat. Thought it looked pretty cool for the channel. Big old dragon, big old Dagron, and a warrior trying to take him on. Trying to take him on. So anyway, today we're gonna look at Numenera Discovery. Full transparency, Monty Cook Games sent me Numenera Discovery to share with you guys. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it real quick. Let's get a roll out of the way. See what we get. 3. Man, that was not good. But all right, so Numenera Discovery. Now, I usually have my little doodads, but I guess I don't this time. All right. Now I have done a video prior that talked about which gave a quick glimpse of what came in the slipcase for Numenera, which included Numenera Discovery, Numenera Destiny. We'll look at Numenera Destiny another time. We're looking at Numenera Discovery. Now, I haven't played the game yet, but I have kind of browsed through the rule book, and I just want to talk some thoughts. So what is it? It's a role-playing game. Okay, Numenera is a role-playing game. Numenera Discovery is the core rulebook. Okay, so this is the rulebook that you need to play. Everything that you need to play and run the game is in this book. Excuse me, is in this book. Now, what is Numenera? I'll just read the back. They say there have been 8 worlds before ours. 8 times the people of Earth over vast millennia built their civilizations. They reached heights we cannot even imagine now. They spoke to the stars, reshaped the creatures of the world, and mastered form and essence. They built cities and machines that have since fallen to ruin, leaving only their vast outlines and barest remnants. This is the 9th world. The people of the prior worlds are gone, scattered, disappeared, or transcended, but their works remain. In the places and devices that still contain a spark of their former function. The uninformed call these magic, but the wise know that they are our legacy. They are our future. They are the Numenera. So, it takes place 1 billion years in the future. 8 great civilizations have come and gone, and their ruins and technology are left behind, and now you're in what's called the 9th world, a new civilization who has like a medieval understanding, but is surrounded by all this like ultra high tech that is usually like in these ruins and stuff. And so you play an adventurer that's going down in ruins to find cool stuff. Does that sound familiar? Someone might say, Dusty, that sounds like another role-playing game that I know of. Yeah, but this one has a really cool setting, and I think that you should give Numenera a shot. Okay? So yeah, core rulebook. This is all you need to play and run the game. There is another book called Numenera Destiny, which we'll look at another time. But that is like a companion book. This is the book. You just need this book alone to run and play the game. The companion book adds stuff. But we're just looking at this one right now. Okay, so first things first, man. There is no ribbons. No ribbons in this book. So they give you a bookmark, and it has references to some areas that you're probably going to go to over and over again. All right. I heard that they did that because the binding that they used doesn't allow for ribbons. I don't know. I'm not one of them like bookbinding guys. Anyway, on the inside is the world map. Love it. So you have, of course, like the intro stuff and the getting started stuff and a quick how to play, and then page 21 starts character creation, and there is 3 types, which loosely is a class in this game, and they are glaive, jack, and nano. A glaive is the warrior type. Jack is like that jack of all trades, and then a nano is like the magical character. But in this game, it's not really magic. Like other people may view it as magic, but it's really like think of someone being able to manipulate the nano machines that are all around them. You know what I mean? Or things like that. It's it's more like techno magic, if you want to call it something, than it is actually real. Well, not real magic, but magic that you would find like in Dungeons and Dragons or something like that. This is more like magic with a technological source or something along those natures, more of a science source than what you typically think of when you think of fantasy magic. You dig what I'm saying? And I like that. I like that kind of spin on things, especially since I am Christian, and some Christians, they don't want to play role playing games where it has your standard fantasy magic. So maybe they would be a little more comfortable with this game, where yes, there's magical effects, but it's not you're not using fantasy magic. You're heating up the nanites in the air or whatever and causing them to burst in flames, what have you. You know what I mean? Anyway, I digress. So yeah, the 3 character types, and then they give you a lot of great stuff when building your character. And then along with your character type, you choose a character descriptor, which is not like the physical description of your character, kind of more like a personality touch, I guess. Strong-willed, stealthy, rugged, strong, swift, tough. Okay, so maybe not a personality type, but I guess a general descriptor. Intelligent, graceful. And that gives you, so your type obviously gives you a bunch of class stuff. Your descriptor gives you more mechanical bits that get added to your character. And plus it gives you inspiration for how to roleplay them, right? And then comes your focus, and your focus is like that really awesome thing that only your character can do. You know what I mean? Like bears a halo of fire, I think that allows you to like ignite your whole body on fire or something. You're like Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four. You know what I mean? And commands mental powers, controls gravity, controls beasts, crafts illusions, focuses mind over matter, fuses flesh and steel. So it's that like really awesome thing about your character, and you can have a party where people play the same type. Like maybe there's 2 glaives in the party, and so you can have people that play the same type, maybe even the same descriptor. It might get a little boring with social interactions, but you really want to have people choose different. There's argument on how to say this. Okay, foci or foci. You know, I don't know. I'll probably vacillate between the 2, but I'm gonna say foci right now, and you can argue with me in the comments. That's fine. But you want to have characters choose different foci. You don't want a person choosing the same focus that someone else chose. Anyway, so that's for players. Love the art, by the way. Love the art. The cross references on the side. The whole look of the book. You know what I mean? It really, because it's such a strange setting. It's science fantasy, and so strictly science fiction. Science fiction stuff really isn't going to hit the mark. Strictly fantasy stuff probably won't hit the mark. So you're really fusing two genres together, and there's not like a whole lot of fodder for your mind to kind of work on. So just getting some of these images and being able to let your mind kind of chew on that genre. And then of course you're gonna have equipment, so your armor and your weapons and all that good stuff. I mean, you're like, still wielding a sword and stuff. And then you're gonna get into playing the game, which is the rules of the game. I've done a deep dive on the Cipher system, so feel free to go back, check out my deep dive on the Cipher system. But essentially, you're going to say, hey, I want to jump from this ledge to that ledge. And the game master is going to go, okay, that is a test difficulty of 4. It is difficult. And then you're going to say, okay, well, I'm skilled in acrobatics, so I'm going to use that skill. And so the game master's going to say, okay, so that brings the difficulty down to a 3, so it's demanding. And then you're going to say, then the player's going to say, okay, I'm going to spend 3 points from my pools, and you get 3 pools. That's might, speed, and intellect, if I remember correctly. So let's say you spend 3 speed points, and that drops it down even further. So you went from a test difficulty of 4, and now you've gotten it all the way down to a 2. Now you take that test difficulty and you multiply it by 3, and you get your target number 6. You got to roll a 6 or better on a d20. Okay? And that's how you're gonna do. That's the real general lowdown on how to do like a task. And you'll notice that that's a little different compared to some other games where you roll the dice and then you add modifiers to it. In this game, you're doing the math before you do the roll, and so that way, like, once you roll, if you did it or not. Kind of cool. I dig that. Some people, it's not their jam. They don't like doing the math beforehand. Whatever. Try it out. That's all I have to say. A lot of great rules. A lot of great art. Gotta love that art. I just love the science fantasy. I think science fantasy might be one of my favorite genres, just because I am not a huge fan of straight science fiction, but I love when stuff just gets crazy. And I mean, in this world, stuff is crazy. Okay, and then of course you're gonna after the rules of the game, you get into living in the ninth world, and if you love lore, man, this is gonna be absolutely golden to you. Okay, just piles of gold throughout these chapters, from geographical areas to cities to maps of cities, interesting areas. You even have rumors about what's happening in these areas, so those could be plots and adventures and everything. Oh, just tons and tons and tons of lore fodder that you can easily shift right into a game. Just really good stuff. I haven't read everything, only bits and pieces here and there, so I can't vouch for how awesome it all is. But I really like the hearsay, or the the rumor section, because I could see me using that to make adventures, or to interject some plot, or something like that. All right. So lots of different places to go. So you're not going to be just adventuring in a forest. Lots and lots of places to go. Then you get into organizations. I don't know. I up till now I really like the science fantasy feel. I really like the techno magic and everything. And then you get to like the Order of Truth, which is like a science organization, but then they also have like some religious um I don't know, feel to them as well. Some religious practices and stuff to them as well. And if you know me, I'm not one for like gods or like religions and stuff in my games. I kind of just want to just play the game and not have much of that stuff in there. And that's kind of why I like Numenera, is because that stuff, like, you think about, Dungeons and Dragons, and they have like, pantheons and all this. In Numenera, that's not really there unless you write it in. Um, so so what I would do with the Order of Truth is I would just cut out the whole religiosity and just keep it a scientific organization, and with its intrigue and all that. But yeah, I would cut that bit. Like the book even opens with like some of their like kind of quasi religious text, and yeah, like I said, I would just write that stuff out and just keep it a scientific organization. That's what I would do. But yeah, there's more organizations as well, and I think you can, yeah, membership benefits. So you must be able to become a member, at least the characters. And then you get into, excuse me, your bestiary. A lot of great beasties in here. A lot of terrible, terrible beasties to throw at your party, and then there's NPCs. Excuse me. NPCs to throw at your party. Numenera, which is the technology that was left behind by the previous civilizations. So there's one use Numenera, so that those are called ciphers. If you want to compare it to another role-playing game, say D&D, these would be like your one-use scrolls. You know what I mean? And so they have some pretty cool effects. Infernal Wall Projector creates a wall of extreme heat up to 30 feet by 30 feet by 1 foot. Then inflicts damage equal to the cipher's level on anything that passes through it. The wall conforms to the space available. It lasts for 10 minutes. So just throw up a wall of fire. Let's do this. And the great thing about ciphers is anybody really can use them. Like, you might be just rummaging through a ruin and you might find an infernal wall projector. Well, guess what? You might be a jack with no techno magical training. You don't know how to control nanites or whatever, but you can still deploy this infernal wall projector, and so even though you're like a jack that can, like, open locked doors and stuff like that, you also have the ability to just one time use toss out a wall of fire. So these ciphers, some are strong, some aren't, but I mean, sometimes you can do some stuff with them. I'm thinking, and really step outside of what your character traditionally could do. If you're a glaive, a warrior type, and you're throwing up a wall of fire, what? You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. Ciphers, and then you get into artifacts. Artifacts are items from previous civilizations that are more than one use. They stick around, and every time, usually for most of them, they have like a depletion. Like it says, one in D20. So when you use that artifact, you roll a D20, and if you get a 1, that item is now depleted and can't be used anymore. But if you roll like a 5 or whatever, that means that the item is fine and you have more uses. And you continue to use it, and every time you use it, you roll that D20, and whenever you get a 1 on it, it's finally depleted. But yeah, artifacts stick around, and then there's oddities and discoveries. Oddities really don't affect the game. They're just kind of interesting things that you'll find along the way. Like, say, a crystal that hums, or a comb that glows when used, or a bag of 16 rubber balloons. I don't know why that would be an oddity. Blue crystal that glows as bright as a candle when held. You know, these little things that really don't affect the game all that much, but are just little interesting things that you could throw into a room, I guess. A little bit of guidance on creating new Numenera. Okay, cool. Running the game. So you're going to get... I think this is more rules primarily for the GM, I guess. Yeah. More rules for the GM, and then some I guess, story guidance, building a story, da 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 da, building a story, and then, you know, you're gonna have to kind of make make some decisions on how you want your game to feel, and it gives you some guidance on adventure ideas and technology. You know, things in this world are going to be weird. Okay? Think of things that that are beyond our comprehension or beyond what we can explain, and it's like, you have a medieval understanding and you walk into a room that's, full of remarkable technological feats, and you have no clue what any of it is doing. You know what I mean? Technological feats like, being able to cross into another dimension or whatever. You know what I mean? And then, so the book also comes with 3 adventures ready to run. So that's pretty awesome. Always love adventures right in the core rulebook. And then the back matter, you have additional species options. There's 2 of them. And then you can play as a mutant. Let's see. Some sources of inspiration to help you. Shout out to the backers. Character creation walkthrough. Glossary. Talk like a 9th worlder. That's pretty cool. Could really get the kind of some flavor in your social interactions. And then the character sheet. The character sheet is beautiful. It's double-sided, right? It's beautiful, but when you copy it, if you look, it says might, speed, intellect, says tier, effort, XP. It's in a light blue, so when you copy it, I mean, sometimes that doesn't show up very well, especially if you're doing like black and white. But imagine even in color, it's especially where it says pool and edge, that might be a little hard to read. Limit. Yeah, so copying that stuff and being able to read that. I mean, even just looking at it here, it's still pretty light. So just might have to go over it with a pencil or what have you. And then an index. Index, a little short. And then an advertisement. And a picture of the world. So Numenera Discovery, and it's on the Monty Cook Games website. You can get the physical book or the PDF. So I really want to play this game. I have a buddy who's currently running our Daggerheart game and who also runs our D&D game. And eventually I am going to talk him into running this for me, even if it's just, you know, a short campaign, like 3 to 6 sessions. I will talk him into this. Ken, if you are listening, you will run Numenera for me, please. Please, sir. Anyway. Oh, it does come with a poster, too. I forgot. I took the poster out. So the poster, I probably won't be able to show the whole poster here. So this is the second edition of the book. This poster shows the cover to the first edition. I won't be able to get the whole posters. And the poster is double-sided. On the other side of the poster is the world map. Oh, I got it upside down. There we go. Is the world map. So, that's pretty cool. Who will like this? Well, if you love role-playing games, if you want to step outside of just a regular fantasy role-playing game, but you don't want to step too far like from it, like you like exploring and finding cool stuff and fighting monsters and stuff, and intrigue and all these things, if you like that stuff, but you kind of just, you know, little bored of the same old fantasy world stuff, then maybe Numenera Discovery is right up your alley, because, you know, you're an adventurer exploring ruins to find cool stuff, but, you know, it's a billion years in the future. You know, same but different. You get what I'm saying? Okay. And who won't like it? Well, you know, if you want your role-playing game to feel like a Tolkien movie, this is probably not the game for you, buddy. But anyway, I know they have a new edition of Numenera coming out. I don't know when. I don't know if it's going to be like 6 months or a year. I know they just got done with the Kickstarter or the backer kit or whatever it is. So I don't know how long it will take for them to put out the new edition. So I don't know if you want to grab Discovery now, if you want to wait for the next edition to come out, or if you want to wait. I don't know if you want to wait for the next edition to come out and then grab the next edition, or if you want to wait for the next edition to come out and then maybe Discovery will go on sale. I don't know. But I know that from what I've heard, the new edition, there's 2 core rule books instead of just 1. So if you're cool with the second edition of the game and you don't want to wait for the third edition of the game, you can pick up Numenera Discovery, and it's 1 book, contains everything you need to play and run the game. You can make characters, you can run the game, there's the lore, there's the monsters, there's the equipment, there's the types, which is the classes, there's you know, there's guidance on how to write an adventure, and I don't know if I mentioned it, there's 3 adventures in there that's ready to play, you know, so everything you need is right here. But if you want to wait for the next edition to come out, there's that option too. Anyway, that's been Numenera Discovery. Numenera Destiny will be coming up here eventually. I haven't spent as much time with that one for reasons, but I will at least get it on the channel and show you guys. Thank you to Monty Cook Games for providing me Numenera Discovery. Excuse me. And if y'all don't know the motto, y'all about to hear the motto. It's trust Jesus, grow daily, and enjoy games. Thank you for watching Dusty and Dice. All that good YouTube stuff. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And hey, have a blessed day, night, wherever you are. Have a good one. Oh no, terrible at ending these things.